Hello students, welcome to the third part of work energy and power chapter. Now we talk about work energy theorem. What it says actually, it says that if suppose you are displacing a body from one point to another point, then the amount of work done will be equal to change in the kinetic energy of the body. As you can see also, we have taken a body of mass m, it is moving with velocity u, initial velocity, you apply force and the velocity increases to v, and suppose the time taken by this change is t and displacement we are assuming it is s at the time t, when the time will end. We have the formula v square minus u square 2as. Now what we'll do, we can multiply both sides by m by 2. You get half mv square minus half mu square is equal to m into a into s. Now m into a is force, mass into acceleration. So half mv square minus half mu square is equal to f into s, and f is into s is work done. So we can write half mv square minus half mu square is equal to amount of work done. So it means final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy is equal to W. Now students, it is not always possible that you write final minus initial. You can write initial minus final. It depends whether the body is accelerating or decelerating, if you want to keep the work done positive. Now the change in kinetic energy of a body is equal to the work done on it by the net force. Now the above equation can be generalized for 3 dimensions by employing vectors also. It means if you can do v square minus u square 2as, if you applied vector, so you can take the dot product between acceleration and displacement, because if you do the dot product between v and v, it becomes v dot v, we get magnitude of v cos 0 degree, because the angle between final velocity and final velocity will be 0. You get v square, same you will get u dot u. Now we multiply both sides by m by 2. So you get half mv square minus half mu square is equal to m into a into s. And what we have actually, m a into s is force. So we can write half mv square minus half mu square is equal to f dot s. But you are doing dot product, so left hand and right hand both sides will be a scalar quantity. So again you have final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy is equal to work. Now we can apply work energy theorem for a variable force. We know that the kinetic energy is half mv square. We can differentiate with respect to t, so it will be dk by dt, d by dt of half mv square by dt. We can write further, we have taken half, we are just not using half here because it's a constant value. It can be further written as mv square as mv into v. That's why mv we have taken out and we are differentiating dv by dt. So we have this function now, m into dv by dt. Now dv by dt is acceleration and mass into acceleration is force. We get f into v. So dk by dt is equal to f into dx by dt. We can further write velocity as dx by dt, because velocity is rate of change of displacement. So change in kinetic energy, dt and dt both cancel out from both sides. So small change in kinetic energy is equal to force into small amount of displacement dx. Now if we integrate this equation from xi to xf, so dk will be integrated from ki to kf. Force we will take constant because it doesn't contain small elemental value, so only dx will be integrated. Ki is the initial kinetic energy, kf is the final kinetic energy, xi is the initial position, xf is the final position. We get after integration kf minus ki, and if we integrate from xi to xf, dx will be integrated from xi to xf, we get a total displacement, and force into displacement is work done. So which is work energy theorem for variable forces. Now what is potential energy? Is the energy which is possessed by the position of the body. Now examples we can take. There is one hammer, there is one box, and there is one nail also. You just pick the hammer and just hit it. Now when you are raising the hammer, the raised hammer has potential energy. and again you have, again, you know hit the hammer on the nail is going down because potential energy you are utilizing, and the nail is getting kinetic energy, and now nail is completely inside the box. So work driving the nail into the wooden block is done by the hammer when its energy is released. That means in this condition potential energy gets converted into work done. Now what we see, there is one tank, it is filling with water. You can see the water was not there, now it is filling with water. You can see the water level is rising up. So water stored in the overhead tank possesses potential energy. Water when released is made to flow, then the work will be done because of the potential energy. Potential energy, the water will be converted in the form of work done. Now you can take the example for spring. You take the spring and compress it. The spring will, possess what? Potential energy, which is half of kx square. Clear? Now potential energy stored in compressed spring. What you do when you release the spring, this ball will move forward. When the spring is released, the potential energy stored in the spring does work on the ball and the ball starts moving. As you can see again. Now you can see there is one catapult. You just take a stone over there and again you pull it. Now it is stressed. Now potential energy stored in a stressed catapult. Now you can see the thrown has gone. Clear? So potential energy stored in a stressed catapult which you released, which is converted into the kinetic energy of the stone. When released, it does the work of firing the stone. Now formula for potential energy by virtue of its position. You can see there is one box of mass m. You raise it. Now acceleration to gravity is acting in the downward direction. There is one height h gained by it. So suppose a body of mass m is raised to height h, as you can see now again. Clear? Now the body has mass m, it is raised to height h above the surface and acceleration to gravity g is acting in the downward direction. The work done is lifting the body against the force of gravity is given by work done is equal to force into displacement. Now force is in the form of weight, so it will be mg into h. The potential energy has a formula mgh because the work done is stored in the form of potential energy in this situation. Potential energy is scalar quantity, but it is to be taken with proper positive or negative sign depend on whether work is done against the force or by the force. A formula for potential energy by virtue of its configuration. As you can see again the spring is there. Now suppose this position is x is equal to 0. You apply the force, the spring is compressed and it has gone to another position, and we have taken xc as a displacement. Fs is positive, x is negative. What Fs is actually the restoring force in the spring, because when you compress the spring, F is the applied force where Fs is the restoring force. Now when you release it, what will happen? The body will not, the mass m will not stop at its initial position. It will be displaced above it or to the forward direction. Fs is negative, x is positive. Again now you can see, press up arrow key, press up one up and press up down. Arrow keys alternative to understand the oscillation of the spring. You can do it again and again. Press down arrow key successfully to stop this oscillation. The force, spring force, is an example of a variable force which is conservative in nature. These instructions is given to you if you are using in slide form. as I have used and I have shown you that how it is going to be displaced. Again I am showing to you. As you can see, now you can see another position, again compressed, now comes. These instructions were given for the same. Now I was saying that spring force is an example of a variable force which is conservative. What are conservative force? Conservative forces are those which actually depends upon the initial and final position. Now consider a block of mass m attached to a spring, say massless of spring, constant k, unit of spring constant is Newton per meter, which is also known as spring constant. The spring force F is an ideal spring is directly proportional to the displacement of the block from the equilibrium position, that is F is directly proportional to x. When you remove one constant will come, F is equal to k, where k is restoring force. Now per unit displacement, negative sign shows that this force is acting in the opposite direction of the displacement of the spring. Now suppose a block is pushed by an external force F and the spring is compressed by Xc. Then the work done by the spring force Fs is, we have to integrate it, and when we integrate you get half of kx square. So work done is equal to half kx square c. X square c is the position where the spring was. So note that the work done by the external pushing force F is positive since it overcomes the spring force Fs. Therefore the work done by external force F is half of kx square c. The same is true when the spring is extended through a displacement x c square. When it is going beyond it, then again work done will be the same, half of kx square c. K square e, because e we have taken the next position. The work done by the external force will be half of kx square c. If we plot the graph, we get this kind of relation. The work done is given by the area of triangle OAB from the graph. Now again we can see there are two blocks. One block we have taken up, gravity is acting downward, height is h, potential energy possessed by it is mgh. Again this block is displaced from its position, it has gone to another position, shifted to another position. Again height is h. In the same condition, both conditions, potential energy is mgh, because potential energy never depends upon the displacement. Clear? It only depends upon the vertical displacement. Now potential energy is path independent, that is depends on the net variable displacement, height of the body, but not on the path through which it is raised. Now it has gone down, so mgh minus mgh will be 0, no potential energy. Potential energy round trip, that is in a closed path, is always 0. Potential energy gained by the body is plus mgh, potential energy lost by the body is minus mgh. Total round of potential energy we have to add them, answer will be 0. Therefore gravitation force is a conservative force. Conservative forces are those, again I am saying, those who only depends upon the initial and final position, not on the path taken between them. If h is taken as variable, then the gravitational force F equals the negative of the derivative of Vh with respect to us. Thus F is equal to minus of d by dh Vh, or we can write F is equal to minus of d by dh mgh. The force will be minus of mg, because d by dh, integration of h of d by dh will be 1, and the negative sign indicates that the gravitation force is downward. If the body Vh is equal to mgh is released, potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. You can write v square is equal to 2gh, because u we have taken 0, because the body is dropped. If we multiply both sides by m by 2, we get half mv square is equal to mgh, which shows that it is conservative. It is converting into potential energy into kinetic energy. The potential energy Vx is defined if the force Fx can be written as Fx is equal to minus of dV by dx. This implies that if we integrate on both sides Fx dx from initial position Ixi to xf, we have to integrate the second side also from minus Vi to Vf. We get Vi minus Vf as a change in velocity potential energy of the body, initial to minus final. Now this ends the third part of the work, energy and power. Thank you so much.